Thank you for watching. We are sure you have been
Every effort you put in life is an investment. The universe is the accountant. So the effort you put in is what you call your investment into life, the defining your future. The distance between preparation and opportunity is dependent on men. So you need power in the form of knowledge, understanding, spiritual authority, and capacity.
Prime Council, guiding next generation leaders.
Hello, good evening. Good evening. Can you just type in your name on the chat and what location you're joining from? And invite your friends. Yes, I want to see where you're joining us from. Yes, I can see Desire from the UK. Yes, that's just your name and your location. Your name and your location. Yeah, I can see Desire from the UK. Good evening. Yes, we're also on Instagram also. Yes, just giving few more minutes before we kick off. I wanted to share the link with your friends, with your families, because it's gonna be a wonderful time this evening. We're speaking about how to turn your raw value to market value. Yes, keep it coming. Your name and your location. Just one more minute to go. And how we are doing with the content we see online. How we are doing with the carousels, with the different videos. Has it been affecting your growth, positive change? I want to see those comments on the chat. Thank you very much. Yes, I can see Messi from Nigeria. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. We'll just kick off now, and while others join us, they will catch up with the session. Good evening, everyone, and thank you very much for joining once and again our monthly webinar at Prime Council. This is powered by the Prime Council team, and special thanks to all our team members and for our audience that always join us month in, week out, and engage with our carousels. Thank you very much. I can see how you're calling from Nigeria. Okay, now we've got something really interesting that I want to speak about. How to turn your raw value to market value. And already from the name would have gotten that concept of what raw value, I mean, and I'll be sharing my slides shortly. Yes. So how to turn your raw value to market value. Very interesting topic. How to unlock your potential and convert your hidden brilliance into marketplace success. Thank you very much for joining. Just keep on typing your names in the chats. Now, for many of you that have joined us since January, you'd have been familiar with the ladder of success, which is the ladder or the steps that every human being on earth takes towards their final destination. Okay? And we've said that all human beings, including plants and animals, start from existence. They start from existence. Now they get to survival. Okay? After survival, you're thinking, I want to thrive as a human being. I want to thrive as a human being. Yes. So once they begin to thrive, they're suddenly going to start thinking about impact. Impact. And we can see the fifth one, which is purpose and legacy. So this understanding forms the foundation of our discussion this evening. Because I don't know how many of us have thought about this, that do you have a game plan on how you want to navigate from survival to thriving? I ignored existence because generally most people in today's world have found a means to survive. So they found a means to get their basic amenities, food, clothing, and shelter. Okay? Now, most people are stuck in the survival zone. And that's why you would have heard it many, many times about people being a victim of survival. Okay? Not many people even get to impact, talk less of purpose. So we see here that once you understand this, that this is the ladder that you will take in achieving that life of purpose, of legacy, then you take your value seriously. You see in the next slide, I said something there. Success evolution. Success must move from being a mindset. So, like I always say, it starts with your mindset first. But it must become an action before it then becomes a lifestyle. But the issue is that a lot of us climb through these different ladders not as sustainable results, but as excited states. And for those that are science students here, you have heard what excited state means, which is an element gaining more electrons, is overcharged. The same way you're motivated, for example, and you're thinking, no, now I want to thrive. I want to go get a first class ticket. I don't want to survive anymore. Yes. So most of us, rather than us building value that makes it sustainable, what we do is we go through excited states. And most any result that comes through excited states always comes back to the normal position. So you see every element that goes to the next that always come back. That's the reason why we have people that crash land in this ladder of success, because they've not built enough value to make it sustainable. So we see that success must move from a lifestyle, must end as a lifestyle, but it must start as a mindset. Then you begin to take actions, positive actions. That consistency, deliberate execution is what brings to sustained excellence. As at now, many of us are still living success as an excited state, not as something sustainable. No wonder we're scared of our results. Now, if you look at raw value and market value, which is the major crux of what we're speaking about, okay, what's the unifier there? You can see that value is in the unifier between raw value and market value. So the obvious factor between raw value and market value is value. What is value? Value is potential. What is raw value? Raw value is potential energy. It inspires people, but it remains dormant. Untapped brilliance. You see the market value, kinetic energy, energy in motion, empowers people, creates impact. You can monetize your excellence. If you don't convert your raw value, it will remain useless in the marketplace. Raw value inspires people. Market value empowers people. So the next question you might want to be asking is, how do you discover your value? That's the question that a smart person should be asking this evening. How do you discover your raw value? Because we can't talk about getting to market value without understanding what your raw value is. So what do people always come to you for? What comes naturally to you but is hard to others? What produces unusual results for you? What problems do you solve without stress? What feels like a calling? That inner conviction. That's a guide to your raw value. For all of you that are online this evening, you must begin to think about it. You cannot talk about getting to market value if you don't have an understanding of, you have not discovered your raw value, your area of strength, your area of skill. What comes naturally to you? Some people can paint, they can draw, some can sing, and we've seen people refine it and they've marketed it. Now, you can't move from point A to point B if you are not aware of point A. So you can't say I'm going to point B if you don't even know you're in point A. So if you can't talk about going to market value if you don't have that real understanding of your raw value. Now we see the 4 pillars of transformation. Awareness in form of your identity, discovering your strengths, your areas of excellence, purpose, uniqueness. Your similarities will make you fit into any group, but it is your excellence, it's your uniqueness that differentiates you. Because anything of value is something that must be different. So, have you discovered your value? I want to see people comment here this evening. Have you discovered your value? That raw value. And what do I mean? If you can be asking, what's that value? It can be sound wisdom. So you're going to see it in the next slide there. You can't talk about moving from point A to point B if you're not aware of point A. Sound wisdom. Lessons from the past. Many of you as of now, you've gone through previous experiences in the past that if only you can refine it and package it, it's something of value, because you'll be that person that guides other people from not falling victim of your experience, or you're shedding light or bringing more awareness to the society on your experience. So sound wisdom, lessons from past experience, your gifts, talent and skills, natural abilities, your passion, what ignites your soul. Aldous Huxley said something many years ago. He's a great philosopher. He said, experience is not what happens to a man. Experience is what a man does with what happens to him. Experience is not what happens to a man. So the experience you have is not just a function of what you have gone through, but a function of what you have learned from what you have gone through. So many people as at now, they have many experiences. Circumstances happen to them, but they don't have experience, a function of wisdom. So now you have to convert your life experience into valuable experience. That's storytelling. Convert your life experience into valuable experience. That's what storytelling is about, and that's where you have heard many people, creators, influencers talk about storytelling. How to tell stories that impact your audience, that bring wisdom, knowledge, and awareness. We live in a world that has big appetite for stories. You can create an economy out of your stories. I'm waking you up, guys. You can create an economy out of your stories. Many people brag and boast about the experiences, but what's the market value of those experiences? And I'll give you a scripture, I think it's in the book of Second Corinthians. Bible speaking, it said, God who comfort us in all our trouble, so that we might be able to comfort others by the comfort we have received of the Lord. So you go through an experience, God comforts you. He expects you to use the comfort, the experience, the lessons learned to go and comfort others. What's the disclaimer? There's a disclaimer here because I know many people, we need to be so explicit in our communication because this is a very serious topic. The disclaimer is that in telling your story, sift out the drama, trauma, and stigma component of it. That's the issue. So, of course, you know that I always speak about adaptation and convictions. Yes, you need to adapt, put out your stories online, your experiences, be more visible, have a digital presence. But does that mean everything that's gone through in your personal life, you put it out there just to gain traction? Because Coach Ayoola said we should convert our life experiences to valuable experience. No. The disclaimer is that among your stories, take out valuable lessons from it, but not the drama, trauma, and stigma components. And that's one of the things we've seen in today's world. Many people in the means to just communicate value just pour out everything. They pour out everything. They pour out everything. I want us to think about these things. You can't play big in the global market if you don't have a sense of agenda. You can't have a sense of agenda if you have not discovered purpose. A sense of agenda is what provides momentum in form of a vision. And I'm going to be showing you what I mean. Your similarities, like I said, makes you fit in. Your uniqueness makes you irreplaceable. You must shift from having just a CV to having a living portfolio. I know many of you as of now, you're trying to navigate getting into the corporate world. And you've gone for different interviews upon interviews, but there's a specific body of knowledge that a recruiter, an employer, and employer is looking for. Portfolio, value. Any recruiter that sees value will not want to lose value. So if you're getting turned down at a place of work, the two things that happen is either you're not valuable enough, number one, or number two, your time has not come. Employers are seeking for those that have utility, not liability. As of now, many of us we still portray that sense of liability. For example, you need a job, and I've always said it here. You must move from needing a job to providing value to that organization. Now, you're thinking, now that I've discovered my purpose, my strengths, my passion, my gift, talent and skills, what do I need to do? Excellence, master your craft. You have to know everything about something. Expertise. Look at that. You have to know everything about something. And you have to know something about everything. So you have to become an expert in something. Maybe your course you've studied at university, your skill. Know it so well that you know everything about it. But don't also stop there. You need to know something about everything. General knowledge, broad interests, cultural awareness, versatile thinking. Do you watch football? Do you play golf? Do you go out for orchestra? Those are the things that amplifies your market value in the long run. When you come into the market sphere, it's not just mainly about expertise, but also areas of interest. You will see the Apostle Paul. He quoted in Acts 17 verse 8. He quoted a poet, which meant he was a vast reader. So as much as he was focused on religious knowledge, he also learned other things. Your expertise open doors for you. You won't perform beyond your installed capacity. So if you're not excellent, you can't produce excellence. If you're not excellent, you can't produce excellence. What's the second thing you need to build? I hope you're writing this down. Excellence. Knowing everything about something, your area of expertise, and knowing something about everything, your areas of interest. As you begin to implement this, what happens is that you increase your margin, your stake in the corporate world, in the market sphere. The second thing you need to do as you begin to, after you found your raw value and you want to convert it to market value, is the willingness to make a decision. Take first step towards your goal. You need to have a willing mindset to make. Of course, I've always said it here. There's that popular quote that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. Yeah? But I'm here to tell you that the journey of 1,000 miles begins first of all with a decision to take the first step. Okay? The journey of 1,000 miles begins first of all with a decision to take the first step. Many people are so indecisive. The victim of procrastination, they can't make a decision towards their goals. I've met people that will tell you they want to register a company and they've been on it for years. They can't take the bull by the horn. The second thing is you need courage. Courage over confidence. Build value from uncertainty. You need courage, not confidence, to take the first step. You build from uncertainty. A vague goal cannot inspire precise action. A vague goal cannot inspire precise action. What does courage do? Courage defeats inertia, external force. Yes, inertia. What limits you? Once you become courageous, you defeat that inertia. What does it do next? Then continuity sustains momentum. As you take that first step and you continue in it, what you now do is you sustain momentum. And lastly, the confidence that most of us always like to have. That's what creates equilibrium. That sense of balance. I did a video some days ago that you can't start off in life feeling confident. You start off in life becoming courageous. Once you take that first step, you continue in it. That's when you now become confident. You get better with improved effort and consistent attempts, not time. Many of us, we deceive ourselves. We say, oh, God will do it. Time will tell. I'll work on it. No, you get better with consistent attempts and improved efforts. That's what changes the game. That's the game changer in terms of moving from raw value to market value, not time. If you don't do anything, you're never going to get into the market sphere. Now look at something very interesting. The goal of any association is comfort, peace, and you are not paid by your organization to understand yourself. You are paid to understand your employers. The truth is, many of us don't want to work. And if you can't work, you can't be of value. If this is the only thing you gain this evening, and you implement it, this is going to be a game changer. Many of us don't want to work because we've heard this ideation about leverage, doing more with less. But you've forgotten that to do more with less, the first thing in that sentence is you have to do. Do more with less, but you have to do. Or some people say, oh, I want work-life balance. And we've gotten so used to saying that, oh, work-life balance. But think about it. In that sentence, work-life balance, what's the first thing that comes first? Work. You can't talk about balance without working. Many people pray for financial elevation but ignore the law of value exchange. Here's the truth. The world does not pay you for what you carry, it pays you for what you contribute. It's written boldly there. The world does not pay you for what you carry, it pays you for what you contribute. Now, you need to be able to produce the best output, excellence, willingness. Pay attention to details. You have to bring ideas and innovation to the table. What is ideas? New inventions. What is innovation? Bringing freshness to an existing system. Because we think playing big in the market seems like those that are playing big in the marketplace, whether in the corporate world, in different industries, are just people that have two heads or they are privileged. No, it's because they have the understanding of these things. They always bring innovation, newness of ideas. Or you can say, oh, I'm not an innovator. I'm not an inventor, I mean. We can be an innovator, bring freshness to an existing system. How can this thing be better? We've said it here. The fourth one you need is intelligence. You need to be so intelligent. You need intelligence to move from raw value to market value. You need to be able to act appropriately beyond obvious. The way you judge, the way you hear, the way you see things, your mannerism, the way you do things. Those are the things that amplifies your market value, my audience, this evening. Now, one of the things you need is cultural intelligence. Look at something, and I wrote an analogy here. You can't prostrate for people in China; they will think you are not normal. So I know there are a couple of our audiences that have joined from different parts of the world. They've migrated from their home countries. They're in US, Canada, UK, and different countries. You need to be able to adapt to the culture of the land. Respect doesn't always mean total acceptance. Yes, I've said you should adapt to the culture of the organization, culture of the country you find yourself in. But does that mean you're taking everything? No. What does it mean? It means you know how to adapt and you know how to rebel. Positive adaptation and positive rebellion. We've said that many, many times here. You need positive rebellion, and I want you to go watch the webinar on the economic and social value of leadership. That was the fourth webinar in April. Nobody is going to cheaply hand you a stake in the global market. You have to fight for your stake. Wake up, my audience. Nobody is going to just hand you a piece of the global cake. You have to fight for your share. And you need that intelligence, cultural intelligence, financial intelligence, relationship intelligence. Move over to why people remain at raw value. Fear of visibility, they don't want to be seen. Some people are so private that they become mediocre. Does that mean you should be everywhere? No. But today's world, no one will pay for what they can't see. Imposter syndrome. They don't feel qualified enough to be that person of value. They don't feel qualified enough to teach. Perfectionism. Want everything to be perfect first. Before they do their first video, they want to go get a camera, light box, soft box, all the boxes. Confusion, they don't know where to start. They've not joined the Vision Clive to call with Coach Ayoola, and they're struggling. Lack of structure. They're not joining the SPM masterclass to know how to enhance your business acumen. Those ideas you got. What's the business plan you have for it? Inconsistency, gifted but undisciplined. Look at that. Raw value requires courage, mentorship, and exposure to become market value. I don't believe anyone on this live stream that is about to build something should not have a mentor. And we have those services here at Prime Council. The Vision Clarity Call, the one-to-one mentorship. We have lots of mentees that have joined and they are moving towards their purpose, their dreams, their goals. And these are the people that are positioning themselves for taking next level next year in 2026. So we've seen why people remain for value, fear of visibility, imposter syndrome, perfectionism, confusion. Which one do you belong to? Now that you've understood the concept of raw value, and I know everyone here has raw value because God has not made anyone on earth without any measure of gifting, skills, talent, passion, purpose. So you have it in you. If it's not manifesting, these are the things that are limiting you. You're not being excellent. You're not willing. You're not intelligent. You've not found your purpose. Now, what's market value? Define the market need. Who needs what I carry? You need to identify your audience. What pain does my gift solve? Find the problem. What desire does my talent satisfy? What industry resonates with my gift? You have to understand market systems. The gap between raw value and market value is dependent on the opportunities you can create. I think it's lagging. Someone said it's lagging. Give me a second. Yes, it should be clear now. The gap between your raw value and market value is dependent on the opportunities you can create for your value, either as an invention, as an innovation. Master the art of selling. You are not paid for your value, you are paid for the problem you solve. Look at the Bible there, 2 Thessalonians 3, verse 10. He that does not work should not eat. Selling is work. You sell or market your skills, systems, values, agenda, and convictions. So if you're at survival stage, you mostly sell your skills, gone to university. If you're thriving now, you're selling your systems. For impact now, you're selling your value. And for purpose, you sell your agenda. We have many agendas in today's world, and people buy into agendas. People buy into different agendas, shared vision. Now, look at something there. Market segmentation. So I'll give you an example. So you make F in your home country, Nigeria, and you've relocated to the US or UK, but you can only make black people there. And many of you leave that particular opportunity and you go and start looking for corporate jobs. Because you don't have the understanding of this, you don't know that we have over 3 million Nigerians alone in the UK, that's enough markets for you to be able to, enhance your skills, your values, make profit out of it. So you need to have the understanding of demographic, geographic, psychographic, and behavioral aspect of market systems. And there's an ebook coming up from Prime Council which will contain all these things. So stay tuned for that. We'll send it for all those that have registered. But there's something really important that I want to show you. There are 5 types of people in any market system. Look at this, innovators. They are the pioneers. And we have the last people, which is the laggards, last movers. Most of us belong to the last stage. We don't take moves. We are not trailblazers. We're not pathfinders. People that enjoy the largest share in the market system are those that take the first, that innovate, that bring out an invention or an innovation. So think about it. In that your skill, talent, what's that one thing that you can do that no one else is doing? That's what your differentiation is. That's what will elevate you. Is there a way you draw that is unique to you? That's your ticket to thrive in the market space. Who are innovators? These are people who create, invent, introduce new ideas to the world. They move first, think fast, they get the lion's share because they shape the game before anyone even enters it. They are trailblazers and pathfinders. I'm not going to focus on the three middle part, early adopters, early majority, late majority, because most of us belong to the 5th part, laggards. We're last movers. It's only when millions of people have taken an action, that's when we wake up from our slumber and our sleep. Because fighting mediocrity. We must move from the 5th stage to becoming someone that is innovating something. As an innovator. Laggards are traditional, they are rigid, reactive. They only move when they are forced to, they can't take initiative. And we have many people that are victims of this. They are laggards. Laggards are they're sluggish. Now, you want to thrive in a market space, you need the psychology of perception. Why people trust what they see. Life is majorly about perception. The psychology of perception. People make judgments in seconds. Do I trust this person? Do I respect this person? Do I believe this person? Can this person help me? Your value belongs to you, but your perception belongs to the world. Look at that. People may be wrong about you, but perception does not begin with truth. It begins with interpretation. Be careful about your narrative, the narrative you show to the world. By the time as a young guy, you don't dress well, you're shabby, your hair is bushy, you're not clean, you're creating an impression. And I've always said it here, you don't have a second chance to make first impression. It really matters a lot. In few seconds, someone can decide they want to engage this person in a £10,000 or $100,000 deal because they are seeing you as someone that is broke, that is wretched. And you know some of this, but are you doing them? So people might be wrong about your perception, but you have to frame how they perceive you by the interpretation you want people to see and know about you. This is why world-class experts, entrepreneurs invest heavily in presentation, communication, clarity, not because they lack substance, but because they understand that substance must be translated into a form that human mind can accept. I've had arguments with different people. It's not about saying, oh, wear suit, wear tie. It's the fact that it's not about you, it's about what people perceive. So you must move from saying, I'm comfortable in this to my audience, my target audience. Are they connected? Are they comfortable with seeing me this way? Your value belongs to you, but your perception belongs to the world. Your job is to always guide your perception. Perception management is really important. If you want to move your raw value to market value, how people perceive you as a change agent, as a serious individual, as consistent, as a person of integrity, it really matters. If you say you're going to call somebody, call the person, especially if in business. If you're not able to call, drop a message and reschedule it. Don't just go into airplane mode and zone off. No, it doesn't show integrity. It doesn't show a person of substance and value. You need intentionality. You have to be deliberate about your communication, the communication of your difference, the way you speak, the way you appear. The way you speak, your communication, the way you appear, your appearance. Your communication, both your oral and written, I've said it here. You should not use shorthand in business settings. You can use fine, FYN, fine. No, you're speaking to you're a global leader. You should not do that. Package your value. You have to know how to package it. And these things are things that we're going to discuss at the SPA Masterclass. Especially for those based in the UK, you have to be at Birmingham. Because we're going to go into details with this. How to package, distribute, and position your value. Convert invisible ability into visible products. And this is a journey that I'm going through at Prime Council. We moved from giving free value to creating that impression, giving free value. And now we have courses, we have program services to offer. Very soon we're moving into product-based systems. You have to know how to package your value. You have to know how to distribute your value. Enter the market. Social media. Have an account of course, I always tell my mentees, you have to be on social media. LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram. They are all for your leverage. You have to utilize it. Why do you want to take the path of least resistance and struggle? Build communities, collaborate. In distribution, many people fail there because the value they have is in their head, is mental assent, but it's not translated into actions. It must leave your head. That value you have must leave your head. It must leave that document. Many of us, we have things that we have written down. We have many things, our plan, our vision. Look at this. But it must leave your head. It must leave your thought and enter into the marketplace. Position yourself for demand. Teach consistently. Show results. Solve problems. Stay visible. We're always visible. We have a team. We have a team of about 5 people. Just making sure that we are always visible. Dispensing our value. And we will see remarkable results. I want you guys to come there. And it's not just about what we do here. There are many of you should be teaching about your skill, your gift, your passion. You should be hosting podcasts. Demand turns your gifts into income. Turns it into income. I've tried to streamline everything this evening, audience, community, because not that many of us don't know what to do, but sometimes we need to be reminded. Go back to that your plan. This 2025 November. What was the strategy for 2026? As at now, I expect that everyone based in the UK, if you're on this live stream, should register for the SPA Masterclass, because we're bringing in about 3 different top-ranking business personnel. Some in the tech sector, some in business. You're going to come share real-life experiences. You get access to the networks, get access to the community. There will be breakfast and lunch, certificate of participation. It's something you don't want to miss. Yes, that's it. Thank you, host. The hidden process of becoming highly valued in 2026. So what we're doing this evening is just a forerun of what is going to happen at the Telsin Center in Birmingham, Saturday 20th of December. It's just £50. £50 it doesn't even cover the venue cost. It's just to make sure that we're able to cater for everyone that comes on the day. You get access to the personal development guide, exclusive workbook, so transformational, access to the Prime Council growth community. You identify how to package, position your unique value, framework for moving from raw talent to market relevance, systems, habits, mindset that sustains growth and influence, personal branding and strategic relationship building. These are the things that we're doing at Prime Council. We just started off this year, and as at now we've broken even, getting sales. There's demand coming in, and we have to even increase our capacity. I want as many of you based in the UK to be a beneficiary of that. You don't have to struggle. If you are transitioning into the corporate world, there's a particular body of knowledge that you need. Thank you. Can you remove it? certain particular body of knowledge you need. It's not about just writing CVs and application. There's something that the recruiters and interviewers are looking for. A certain value quotient that they want to see. And this person is coming into our organization, is going to bring either direct value in terms of your tax you do, or indirect value, your personalities, for example. Are you a go-getter? Are you proactive? Are you spontaneous? Those things are things that recruiters check for. But some of you don't know it. That's why you need to be at the Tennessee Center at the 20th of December. As I close this evening, you are not empty. You are simply unexpressed. Your future awaits. You're not empty. You're simply unexpressed. The world will not reward the greatness you hide. Until your raw value becomes visible, structured, and demanded, it cannot become market value. Step out, build, grow, launch. Your future is waiting for the version of you that decides to emerge. Remember, I said decision. We know these things, or I know many of you know these things, but are you acting it out? For me, I've moved from just saying I want to gather mental knowledge to I want to implement the ones I've even known. Let me make use of it. That song you always sing, this little light of yours, you're gonna let it shine. Let the little light of yours shine. That is when you have the right to request for more light. God is not gonna give you more light, more opportunities if you're wasting the ones that's available to you. If you're not creating one out of what is put inside of you. Also, can you bring out the Instagram Live and the next month's webinar? We have Instagram Live next Monday. Gaining momentum for 2026. I was speaking to one of my team members and I told him he wanted to, I think Resta is coming, and he said, oh, he's going to do it next year. I said, no, you have to start the process this year so that you will build momentum. Then by next year, you can sustain momentum. See that? So you have to be at the Instagram Live to know that there's a technology, there's a science behind gaining momentum, how to implement things. There are many things that I've been able to achieve this year just because I understand and I'm implementing these key secrets I want to show to you. Monday, 1st of December, 9 p.m. Nigerian time, 8 p.m. UK time. Can we show the December webinar? Thank you. Do it now. So you see, everything is strategic. Now, for example, for those that have come for this SPM Masterclass, you've joined the Building Momentum. You can build momentum mentally, but you have to take that action. Like I said, excellence starts from a mindset to action. So do it now. How to get things done in a fast-moving environment. Because the market is so spontaneous. Things change every day. How do you adapt to changes? Monday, 29th of December, that's after Christmas. 8 p.m. UK time, 9 p.m. Nigerian time, 3 p.m. US time. Of course, you can't miss it. Invite all your friends and families, and it's going to be a blast. We are wrapping up this year, just preparing ourselves for 2026, because as many of us that are part of the Prime Council community are going to be taking our boxes on our goals, on our visions, on our purpose. We're going to be making money, becoming more influential, making impact. So you have to get on board, guys. You have to get on board. And of course, if you want one-to-one mentorship, just speak to the host. You can message us on our social media platform. Click the link in the bio. Okay, and book a session. Vision clarity call. Many people have gotten clear vision just on a 2-hour session, rather than just wasting years of their life struggling. And if you want to register for the SPM Masterclass, that's the QR code on showing at the right side there. Just scan it and register. I hope I've been able to simplify, not just to bore you with information, but to tell you that you have to move from raw value to market value. And your first understanding is do your background work internally in terms of raw value, refine it, transform it, then package it, position it, sell it. And people will pay you fortune for your value. Thank you very much, guys, for joining this evening. See you again next Monday. You don't want to miss it. You have to do it next Monday. Yes.
Recommended by Prime Council.
Thank you, host. That's recommended books. We'll share it on the Instagram and TikTok page. You have to go with your next 5 moves. We're so intentional about your growth, guys. You want to make use of this opportunity to buy that book. Your next 5 moves. It's very important. It's very important. You can't play small. You can't play small. You can't play small. I'll see you on Monday, guys. It was a journey. It was a battle coming on the live session this evening, and I had a lot of attack in my body system, because I know that there are many people that be liberated from this session, and that's why they didn't want me to be here. But I've been able to do it. So that's a tick. That's us doing it now, taking the bull by the horn. So leading by example. So that's how we're going to be ending. Of course, we always end 1 hour 30 minutes, but I just hope we've been able to get that clear structure, clear guideline. Like I said, the ebook will be ready to be on our link. You can always download it. We're going to make it free of charge so that you can benefit from it. The goal for us this year is that many of you, many young builders, young graduates, emerging leaders, come to that standpoint of confidence, to that standpoint of certainty about their goals and vision, and not just charge boxing, doing everything, but being circumspect, being able to redeem time and climb the ladder of success, moved from survival to thriving to impact, and now your purpose and achieving legacy. So see you next time. Every effort you put in life is an investment. The universe is the accountant. So the effort you put in is what you call your investment into life, the defining your future. The distance between preparation and opportunity is dependent on men. So you need power in the form of knowledge, understanding, spiritual authority, and capacity.
Prime Council, guiding next generation leaders.
Thank you for watching. We are sure you have been truly empowered and inspired to take the next step forward.
To connect with us, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Prime Council for our video resources. And follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Prime Council _.
Prime Council, guiding next generation leaders. Thank you for watching. We are sure you have been truly empowered and inspired to take the next step forward.
To connect with us, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Prime Council for our video resources. And follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Prime Council _.
Prime Council, guiding next generation leaders.